My name is Canaan Tyer. I'm 9 years old and I go to school at New Albany Elementary School. One of my passions is doing musicals, and I've really been working towards that passion since I was about 8 years old. So there was the summer camp that we did in second grade, and the first time I did it, I got the lead part, Charlie, and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I was in awe the first time I saw all the people and like the audience, and I was also in there with my friend, and he you could say supported me through my passion. The first time I actually had an audience, it's expected to feel nervous, maybe a little bit nervous about if you're gonna not do well or do something that you're not supposed to. But when you just think about if you just keep on going, it's most likely the audience won't even know that you did anything wrong. So I could go out there and I could be doing a dance for the ensemble and mess up, but if I just keep going, the audience will probably not even see me. They'll act like that mistake didn't exist. And when they truly don't see it, you realize that if you just keep going, you're not gonna fail as much as if you just stop and just wait till the song's over, or wait till you can keep going. Before that play, I was doing piano lessons, and I did a piano duet with the organ player at our church. And when I did that piano duet, it was I could say a really good experience to do, because I got to perform on a piano in front of an audience, which is also the people at our church. Well, no, I play guitar as well. So there's only one song that I can play, because I've spent most of my time learning the chords other than the songs, so that whenever I need to learn a song, I'll know the chords before I actually do them. And there's an app I learned with. It's called Guitar Tuna, and basically that's what taught me that one song.
What song can you play right now?
It's called A Horse with No Name by America. Yes, I would.
Like what?
The harp. So I have trouble not playing this, but I have trouble saying it. I think it's pronounced the harpsichord. And also I'd like to play the violin. I have a violin, but a string broke off, so I can't play it anymore. My next one was Mary Poppins, the play that got me to London. And when I got on that stage, and saw how big of an audience there was compared to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, I was dazzled. I couldn't speak any words until I had my lines, 'cause there was about 800, 900 people in the crowd, and it just felt really good to stare at the people. So some people in my family that I don't normally visit, they came to Mary Poppins, and whenever they came, I just loved looking at them and wondering whether at the end they were going to tell me if I was good or not. It was, yes, all children. It was a program for our schools, and some children to have more experience in plays, so that if people ask them to do like a play, basically, they could say, I've done a play before, but it wasn't a big one. So, and then if they ask again, normally, they would say yes. And that's what I did, and it brought me here. There's this one person, her name is Ansley. She would guide me through a lot of things. And through Mary Poppins, me and her were basically best friends. Yes, she was Mary Poppins. When the first time I saw the cast, and the first time we auditioned like that, how we do, or how we normally do at the high school, it was very different than Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, because in theater camps, you do one thing for an audition, and then they decide. Which the high school is like that, but you gotta dance and do a lot more than just say some lines and go off. And then they judge you. So in theater camp, so everybody gets a book. And they used to just tell people their parts and give them the book after they auditioned and did all that. But, well, no, they would use their books up there, and then they would put it someplace, and they would judge who got this part and who got that, and then they would tell it out loud and give each other their books and like write their name and part so inside the book, so it didn't get lost. After Mary Poppins, so the community theater for New Albany asked me if I wanted to join or audition in Tarzan. So I went to the Magnolia Theater and tried out and got young Tarzan, because this wasn't just a kids play. It was like, it could be adults, and there was some old people in it too. And in Tarzan, there was a lot of people and a lot of props that we had to clean up. So they would clean up the things and rush to put them backstage and put them on the tables so that the people could clean them. And when it was my turn to come out, I had to swing on a vine. Eventually, I got more used to doing it like a swing set than just holding it with two hands and swinging off. So there was 4 nights of the play, and most of them I fell off the vine. But people said, was that part of the act? Because I just kept going. And on the last night when my friends were there, it actually kind of went successful. At a couple scenes before the end, it was anything can happen, and I just remember like flipping and doing all the tricks in the air.
Did you love that?
I love that. So the first time I was like really scared that I was gonna fall off, but when I got more used to it, I started doing, whenever I went into the air, I just flipped, and it was as easy as that. Backflips are really easy. Backflips. Backflips are really easy, but front flips, you have to. So how it works, so I practice with front flips as well, but you put your feet in front of you and then you just kick yourself. Well, no, that's a front flip. You kick yourself back, and then over like So the way your body is shaped when you kick yourself back, and like how fast you're going and how your legs pull your body, it should flip you over and make you do a front flip. Before I performed Mary Poppins at the Orpheum, I got to walk the red carpet. And I got to wear these red sunglasses because I wore a red suit that day, which was perfect because the Orpheum in the Orpheum High School awards, they had been sponsored by Coke because of the Orpheum days that were coming up. So Coke decided, the company decided to sponsor the Orpheum that day, and so we did a picture, and I got to hold up like a Coke thing, but I got to keep the sunglasses. But I didn't get to keep the other thing. I can't remember what it was, but I think it was like an empty Coke bottle, or like an inflatable Coke, like kind of stick thingy. So the practices, we got used to them the first day. And after, when it was the Orpheum Day, we performed, and the way we performed was good enough for them to call us outstanding overall production. So after we performed in Mary Poppins, that's when London came in, and there was a London thing going all around the UK as a national tour, because it went to Dublin, Ireland, and many other cities, like including Manchester, etc.
So the touring company of the Broadway production of Mary Poppins found you through your performance at the Orpheum.
Mm-hmm.
And invited you to audition?
Well, it wasn't through the Orpheum. I had made an Instagram account for that, so that other companies could see that. But after we made that Instagram account, we saw this big poster on Facebook that was about a Mary Poppins Broadway tour. So we decided to sign up for that just for fun, to see if we could eventually get a part. But we thought we weren't going to get a part, and we just wanted to do it for fun. But that's when London actually gave me a call back to go there and audition as Michael Banks. So when we went to London, there was a lot of sights that we got to see, like the Big Ben in Windsor Castle. But mostly everywhere you looked, there was either a tube or a double-decker bus. So whenever I saw the double-decker bus, I was really in shock. But whenever I saw the tube, or the train, I wasn't really that excited, because normally all that stuff is in New York, and we've been there quite a lot. So I wasn't really excited about the train, but I was excited about all the other cool stuff in London. But when we did the audition, so it was this room with a piano and 2 tables that were like connected together. So that's where 4 people sat. There were 5 or 6 people doing the thing. And so one person was to take the children where they're supposed to, and one person doing the piano. So there were 4 people. So one of their jobs were to focus on the lines, the other for choreography, and the other two for judging. I don't really know how they judged it, but I'ma just guess it was just some sort of like discussion and just some deciding. It was 1 week before we went to London when we started to prepare. So on the last 2 nights we started to pack our bags. But so there was this one rule that we had to follow for anybody important who asked. So for the border patrol, they asked if we were here for business or we were here for just a vacation from a different place. The one rule was to say only vacation, but don't say anything about the audition.
Were you nervous for that audition?
Yes.
That was a big deal.
Mm-hmm. It really was, because that's no games. That's no just young children. That's like adults and all that.
It's a job.
Mm-hmm. You get a lot of money a week, but we weren't. So it's really a secret that I can't tell. But I can't tell how much money. I'm just gonna say a lot, because that's a secret. A thing before I say what's next, we're going back in December to see who got my part, because Mary Poppins is at the end of the year. So, and the next thing I'm doing is another theater camp that I got Nemo in today because we're doing Finding Nemo. My friend, his name is Andrew. He got Professor Ray and Gil. So Professor Ray is the person who takes the children around and teaches them all about the coral reefs and the anemones. I can't really pronounce that. Is it anemone or like anemone?
Anemone? I don't remember, because isn't that part of the movie that's kind of like you don't know how
It
to
is
say
anemone.
Anemone?
Mm-hmm.
Anemone?
We'll find a play after that, but in 2025 I'm planning to audition for Mary Poppins again next year at Tupelo National Theater. Or not National Theater, Community Theater. It's not a national theater because it's just a town in Mississippi. It's not going to be a big theater because it's not a big town.
It will probably be similar to like Tarzan.
Yeah.
In New Albany.
I think so. I'm planning to do. So we tried out for another play in London. It was Les Mis, but we did that for fun again. But we tried out for The Little Boy, but we gotta wait a long time because Mary Poppins is happening and people are excited for that, and we would have to wait an even longer time to do Les Mis. So it's probably going to be next year if I had to guess.
Before you would even hear any sort of callback or anything on that?
Yeah. Maybe?
You'd be okay with that for now?
Mm-hmm. I'd be okay with that any day. I mean, I could be like 60 and just want to dance in a stage. So the main things that matter is practicing your lines, songs, and dances. Those are the 3 main things you need to focus on. A little thing you need to practice is memorizing where in the stage you need to be. So there is upstage left, downstage left, downstage right, and upstage right. There's stage left, stage right, center stage, top stage, and downstage center. So there's upstage. I said upstage by accident, but it's upstage center, and it's downstage center. So, most of the time, when they're doing theater camps, most of the time for like a little tiny bonus thing, they'll put the stage positions. They'll put the stage positions on a page so that you can practice looking at what they mean by, where you need to be. If they say DS, it means downstage. That means downstage left, center, or right. And if they say DR, that means downstage right, DL, downstage left, and DS or DC, downstage center. I would.
You would?
I would love to, but I'm not yet ready for that. I would like to be in plays more than direct one, because I'm not old enough to, like, if there was a flying part, I couldn't teach that. Like, maybe I could help with, like, I can, if I studied the ropes a lot, I wouldn't work on them, but I would tell them what we need to do, depending on what the director says. If I didn't do an audition, what would interest me the most? Probably watching it.
Being an audience member? Production.
Stage crew, definitely. Because you use a lot of your strength, and that's one thing I love doing in musicals, because front flips require strength in your legs if you're flying. And if you're doing it on stage and you're not flying, that would take, and even a backflip, that would take strength in your legs, and probably keeping all your organs so that you don't hit the floor. You need your hands ready, and you don't want, so it's a very rare phenomenon, but just in case it does happen, you need to make sure, it's really weird, but you need to make sure your organs don't shift out of place. I'm taking piano lessons.
Who's your piano teacher?
His name is Mr. Brooks. He's a really good teacher. For me, for people to enjoy the moment, I would probably not sing and just let people enjoy the softness and the louds, and just enjoy the piano on its own.
That would be really great. We would like for you to do that when you want to. We can do that.
Mm-hmm.
You also mentioned that you like to draw.
I do. When I'm bored, I normally, at our church, when the preacher is preaching, I used to have a rule: you could play the phone while the preacher is preaching, but just turn the volume all the way down, and when we start singing, turn the phone off until you get in the car. But now I can't use the phone because my mom has a lot of work and schoolwork, and sometimes she works on that stuff on her phone, and she wants to make sure it doesn't interrupt church. And also, and the rule now is when the preacher's preaching, you can draw and then pack everything up to get in the car before the song comes on. I would just call it doodling, but so I used to have this story called Freddie Bob the series, and it was on this app called Stick Nodes, which is basically like different dots on like a stick figure, and you made an animation out of it. So I made Freddy Bob Thayer and drew a picture of him in World War II.
He was your creation.
Yes.
So is that something that you continue to draw this character?
I'm planning on working on another episode, because I've made about 11 episodes, I think, and they're all short little animations. Especially near the end, one episode is just him swinging off a vine. So this creation, or Freddy Bob, boosted my imagination up a little bit, because it was a group project with me and Carter, not for anything, we just wanted to do it for fun. So Carter is a person, she's one of my friends as well, she goes to school with me, and she lives in Ripley, and basically every day when me and her are on the school bus, I show her what I've made, show her what's new about Freddy Bob and how it's grown. And normally on the bus we'll talk about the new ideas that we have for the new episodes. Ooh, it's gotta be Les Mis. Les Mis will make you happy. It has happy stuff around the corner, sad stuff around the corner, and in the middle of that, there's some comedy.